changed everything. In fact, I think she is going to soon apply for, give me an application for joining MAGA. She's going to be wearing a MAGA cap. Now, that's her, and she can't do anything about it because that's where she is. Or with a politician, when they come out with something, that's where they end up, and she will destroy the great Commonwealth of Pennsylvania. Just remember that. That's why they call it the fake news media. It's desperately trying to hide Kamala's failures and extremism from the public. They don't want the people to know how unfit she is to serve. She's unfit to serve. Everything she touches, she ruins. Just to publicity. So I was taking pictures at the grave, one with the sister, and then the mother, and then the father come in, and then another group at a different grave. And it was so beautiful, and we left, and everything was nice. And then later on that day, I heard that we were using the graves of those soldiers for public relations purposes, you know? And that was all put out by the White House. Joe Biden killed those young people because he was incompetent. And then they tell me that I used their graves for public relations services, and I didn't. And I'll tell you what, it was a disgrace. And she was involved. Remember, she said she was the last person in the room, right, when they made the decision. And pulling out was okay, but not pulling out like a bunch of incompetent fools. And that's what they did. We had them in such a great position. But when I took those pictures, it was so beautiful. They were crying. Everybody was crying. They were talking about 3 years ago, because of a grossly incompetent group of generals, and we have great generals. Don't forget, we defeated ISIS entirely with great generals, real generals, not these television morons that you see all the time. But when I saw that, I said, I think I have to talk about it. Now, my people said, don't do it, sir. Don't do it. But if I don't tell you the story, you're going to read. It was front page of the Washington Post, which has lost approximately 57% of their readers over the last 3 years. It was a story in the New York Times, which is losing reader after reader. I'm happy about that. I have to be happy because they truly are the enemy of the people. They are the enemy of the people. They tell false stories about me. That's all they do is they write false stories. They're incapable. I could do the greatest thing. I got to tell you, I ran for office, and they were covering it viciously, but it was front page every day, and then I won. I beat everybody, and I had a story on page 17. So I won, David, and my story was on page 17, but I was always at page 1 when I made a little speech or something. That's why they call it the fake news media. It's desperately trying to hide Kamala's failures and extremism from the public. They don't want the people to know how unfit she is to serve. She's unfit to serve. Everything she touches, she ruins. Just to finish this, I love those people. I'm so happy they took pictures of me and them and the tombstone and their lovely son or daughter. There was a daughter, too, and an incredible daughter, frankly. I've almost gotten to know them, even though I never met them, but I know everything about them. The mother would walk up and say, sir, may I tell you about my boy? You know, he was a football player, and he could throw the ball so far. He played quarterback, sir. And one day, and I realized that she's telling me a story and crying about her son, who's now in a grave because of Biden and Kamala. And I listened to that whole story, how the ball was caught, how the ball was thrown, how the team did, the season the team had, and I let her talk. And then these people accused me of doing this for public relations reasons. And the fact that we even got there, so to my defense, it's nice, because sometimes that doesn't happen too. But they really did. They said, we asked him to be here, and we want him to be there always, and I just think that's great, and we love you all. Thank you. But I wrote for this particular group, because this is, she's anti-fracking, she's anti-everything, this Pennsylvania. And I said, do me a favor, make a little reel of here. She got no votes. She ran. She was one of 22 people that ran. She was the first one to quit. She never made it to Iowa in the primaries, the first state. She was nasty to Biden. She called him a racist and everything else. She'll probably call me a racist in a week from now, week and a half. I look forward to that debate very much. But she called him a racist. Remember the school bus? All she can do, she can memorize a little bit, not a lot, but she memorized a little story about a girl taking a bus. And she used it on Biden. And so when Biden picked her, I was shocked because nobody treated him so badly as her. But let's take a look at the real Kamala Harris.
Yeah, I am radical. We need to get radical about what we are doing and take it seriously.
As President of the United States, I am prepared to get rid of the filibuster to pass a Green New Deal. There's no question I'm in favor of banning fracking.
We have to have a buyback program, and I support a mandatory buyback program.
I believe it will totally eliminate private insurance.
Let's eliminate all of that.
But would you support changing the dietary guidelines?
Yes.
The food pyramid. What people
Yes. Yes.
to reduce red meat specifically.
Yes, I would.
Raise your hand if your government plan would provide coverage for undocumented immigrants.
Where do you stand on defund the police?
This whole movement is about rightly saying we need to take a look at these budgets.
Harris asserted that ICE is perceived as the modern-day Ku Klux Klan.
Are you aware that there's a perception?
I see no.
Are you aware that there's a perception?
That puts ICE in the same category as the KKK. Is that what you're asking me? I see no parallel.
I'm not finished.
I see none.
And yeah, I am radical. We need to get radical about what we are doing.
But that's her. And now she's changed everything. In fact, I think she is going to soon apply for, give me an application for joining MAGA. She's going to be wearing a MAGA cap. Now, that's her, and she can't do anything about it because that's where she is. Or with a politician, when they come out with something, that's where they end up, and she will destroy the great Commonwealth of Pennsylvania. Just remember that. And we should win a blowout. We should blow them out. We win the state, we win the whole thing. And we won it in 2016, and we did much better in 2020. You know that, much better. With the whole election. Actually, in 2016, we did great, but 2020, we did much better, generally. Since Kamala and the media don't want to talk about her radical record, we will. Beautiful. That's beautiful. That's all right. That's okay. No, he's on our side. We get a little itchy, David, don't we? No, he's on our side. You know what he's showing? At Butler, an amazing thing happened. You had two American flags, very far apart, held up, I think, by different cranes. They were very big flags, beautiful flags, and they were waving. And as that horrible event was taking place, the wind blew the flags together, and they formed a perfect angel. I don't know if we have it, but it was a perfect angel was formed. I'll tell you, a lot of things happened. If we have it, put it up. If we don't have it, that's all right. That's it. That's it. That's it. He had the angel. He held up the angel, and our people went after him. No, he's on our side. He's on our side. Thank you very much. It's very nice. I've never seen banners so beautiful, right? No, he's on our side. I mean, the problem is if he was on our side, you know, we can have 35, 40,000 people trying to get in. And if one person stands up and says, I don't like you, Trump, it becomes a headline. Major problems, right? No, but he is on our side. Thank you very much. That's nice. For nearly 4 years, Comrade Kamala Harris has overseen a nation-wrecking border division, flooding our communities with 20 or 21 million, and it could be much more than that. And don't listen to 15 and 16. You're way gone. Those days are gone. 20 million illegal aliens from 158 different countries as of now. Is there anywhere that's more fun to be than a Trump rally? Right? There's nowhere. There's nowhere. It's nice Friday. You know what? And we have plenty of time. Friday afternoon. Steve is here. David's here. All my friends are here. We have the best son in the world here. But all my friends are here, and let's just take our time and have a good time, right? Or should I hurry it up? Should we give you the short version or the longer version? Harris lost. Listen to these numbers, though. Seriously, if this were a Republican, they'd be stringing them up. Now listen to this number, because you have to understand what it means. 325,000 children have been lost. They've been allowed to be trafficked all across our borders. She flew in illegal aliens by the hundreds of thousands, and many of these were young children. But we have no idea where, think of the number, 325,000 children are missing. Many are dead. Many are involved in sex operations. Many are working as slaves in different parts of probably this country and probably many others. But she was the border czar. Now she says, I wasn't the border czar. But she was. It was headlines, border czar, border czar. But now she doesn't want that term. But whether she was a border czar or not, she was in charge of the border. 325,000 children are missing. She created a fast pass entry program to speed the admission of illegals into all of our ports of entry. And remember when they said, no, we're gonna, oh, now they have a new line. We created a strong border. No. They keep saying it over and over. The worst border in history. But they think if they keep saying it over and over, most people aren't like us. They're not that, they drive a cab. They're carpenters, they're electricians, they're accountants, they're lawyers. They're not like into it other than they like Trump. They like our policies, because it's not about me. This is not about me. I had a nice life. You can ask my friend. I had the greatest life. I could go to the most beautiful places, look at the most beautiful oceans in the world. Instead, here we are, and I'm happy as hell to be with you because I like it much better. I like this much better. I like it much better. You know why? Because we're doing something. We're saving our country. I wouldn't do it just because I like it. We're saving our country. Our country needs saving. We're a failing nation, in case you have any question. We're a sadly failing nation, and we're going to make America great again. It's very simple. So we're a failing nation. We're going to make America great again. And I think we have a chance to make America greater than ever before. And remember this, if we don't do it this time, you're never going to have another crack at it. November 5th is the single most important day in the history of our country. I believe that with all my heart, because our country's going bad. of illegals that she let in, which will obliterate Medicare and obliterate your Social Security for seniors. You will not have any Social Security, and you're not going to have Medicare. The whole country is going bad. And no country, no matter who it was, no matter which country it was, no country could withstand this onslaught. No country could withstand this. And a lot of these people, remember, these are rough people. The only thing good about it is they make our gangs and they make our bad ones look like nice people by comparison. We have bad ones too, but compared to the people that are coming into our country, our criminals are very, very nice. These are really tough ones. They come from prisons. Remember that. Many of them come from prisons, and they let them out of the prisons. Why should they keep them when the stupid United States will take care of their situation? Remember that. And this is what you're voting on. By the way, at the end of September, much before November 5th, I always use the term November 5th, but I'm talking about, because today we vote 2 months early. We vote after early. Nobody knows what the hell we're doing. The elections are so screwed up. We have to get back in, and we have to change it all. We want to go to paper ballots. We want to go to same-day voting. We want to go to citizenship papers, and we want to go to voter ID. It's very simple. We want to get rid of mail-in voting. Mail-in voting. Jimmy Carter headed up a commission. By the way, the happiest man in the United States today is Jimmy Carter, President Jimmy Carter. My wife went to